everybody. Welcome to a crash course biology class. Not really crash course. Nevada Virtual High School biology class because we're having issues with Blackboard today. So we are recording on Class Connect to post for all of you wonderful people out there who can watch it and get yourselves caught up and ready for today. Just wanted to say hi and turn my camera off, and we're going to get into our PowerPoint for today. All right, so today we are doing and starting the ACT writing assignment. It is day 1, so we're going to kind of expedite this compared to how we did it last time. We don't have norms because there's no class. But basically, we want to make sure you guys are understanding the role of this ACT writing test. So we do it 2 times a year, and we're on the second time. So this is our second go-around. But basically, it's a practice to get you prepared for your ACT when you take it in 11th grade. So what we need you guys to know is that writing is a skill necessary for the ACT in a time setting. We want you to understand writing an essay can be easy using a step-by-step organized process, which we're going to explain to you today. And we're going to look at 3 perspectives on a biology topic, and then you will develop your own perspective for your thesis statement. Sounds pretty easy, right? Okay, so why do we write? What are some reasons why people are writing? It's for a variety of reasons, sometimes to explain a problem, sometimes to express their thoughts or feelings, to communicate and to convey knowledge. And basically, it's a really good way to explain how you feel, what you're feeling. It's a good way to get people to listen, and just makes you feel like your voice can be heard. So the ACT specifically writing task, the ACT response is, we're going to do the same practice like you would on the ACT. It is a 40-minute essay test. So you're given a prompt, you're given perspectives you have to analyze, and you get 40 minutes to write an essay in response to that prompt. Okay, so we were going to provide you with the prompt for this biology topic, and then you're going to look at the perspective, and you're going to think about what you feel on this topic, and then you're going to compare your thoughts on this topic to the 3 perspectives that are provided. If you don't have a perspective on this topic when you read it, then you're going to have to make one up before you write your essay, okay? So it's really important that you're reading through the perspective, looking at the prompts that are given, and then coming up with your own specific response or your own point of view on this topic. Okay, so here's what we want you guys to do. We're going to look at the prompt. The prompt's going to describe an issue, and you're going to get 3 different perspectives. You're going to read and consider the issue and the perspectives, and then you're going to respond in a 5-paragraph essay format. Your score is not affected by the perspective you take. So it doesn't matter which side of the argument you're falling on, or if you don't fall on it at all. It doesn't matter. As long as you can argue your point, you're going to get the you're going to receive the grade. Okay, so again, your score does not get affected by the perspective that you take on this issue. Whew. Man, that was when I had some really good arms. So let's look at the writing response. So these are the 6 steps that we're going to follow. So first thing we're going to do is we've got to work the prompt, okay? After we read the prompt, then we're going to work the perspective, come up with our own, and then we're going to compare and organize. Our goal is to get our organization mapped out, today. And then tomorrow's Class Connect, you're going to come in and you're going to have 40 minutes with your already mapped out essay to write your final response. So tomorrow's class will be for your final response. Okay. So what in the prompt requires you to weigh in, and why is this issue still the subject? So let's read this prompt, and then we'll talk about these questions and we'll start to answer them. So first one is asking us about, the prompt, the title is about genetic engineering, okay? Since the 1970s, humans have directly altered the DNA of animals, plants, and bacteria to produce desired traits. Genetic engineering has been used by the medical industry to manufacture insulin for the treatment of diabetes. The agricultural industry has utilized genetic engineering to create pesticide-resistant crops, improve the health value of soybeans, and increase the size of cattle. If the scientific community generally sees genetic engineering as a massive step forward, why is there such widespread opposition to the practice? As the use of genetic engineering increases, it is important to examine the potential consequences of directly altering DNA. Okay, so looking at this prompt, it's asking you to weigh in. So it's asking you at the end, is it important to examine the consequences of directly altering DNA? So what it's asking you about is, what are the consequences of directly altering DNA? Why is this issue still a subject of debate and not a done deal? And that's again because of the different things that result in it. So genetic engineering, we're using it for lots of different things. Medical industry, we're looking at it for agricultural industry. We're looking at the scientific community, seeing it as a step forward, but there's just opposition to this practice. And again, it comes with this idea of directly altering DNA. Okay, so let's continue on. And again, now we've got the prompt. Let's take a look at the perspectives. So here's the prompt. I cut the prompt on this slide so we can still see it. Well, now we need to look at each of the 3 perspectives for this. So let's take a look at what this information over here is telling us. So we're going to work the perspectives. Typically, the 3 perspectives are going to be split. There's one for genetic engineering. There's one that's going to be against it. And then there's one that's kind of in the middle. Okay? So your goal is, as you're reading the 3 perspectives, and this is with all the perspectives given to you on any ACT prompt, okay? Your goal is to figure out where the perspective stands and then identify a shortcoming of each. A shortcoming just means something that it's not talking about or something it's lacking, okay? Consider the perspective that they're looking at and then also what they're overlooking, okay? So what they're being really good at and what they're overlooking. So let's look at the first perspective, perspective 1. It says genetic engineering will have detrimental effects on the environment. Artificially strengthening particular organisms will upset the natural balance of ecosystems with disastrous consequences. So I would say for sure this one is going to be against. Let's get a pen here. I'm going to write that down. This one's going to be against. Okay. How about our next one? Our next one is perspective 2, and it says genetically modified organisms are superior to non-modified organisms in pest resistance, hardiness, and yield. Further genetic engineering of crops and livestock will help solve global food shortages. So this one's definitely for it because it's saying those genetically modified organisms, the GMOs, those are going to be better than the ones that have not been modified. So that one's for. Let's take a look at our third one. Genetically modifying organisms is ultimately no different from crossbreeding that farmers have been doing for thousands of years. While the technology has improved, it's still just combining favorable characteristics of organisms to produce a better plant. So this one's the one that's going to be in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put middle. I'm just going to put mid on it. Okay, so we can see the one that is for, one that's against, and one that's in the middle. When you're looking at these, I can already tell some shortcomings. Like, for example, let me put my pointer back so I'm not writing. Okay, so like for example, perspective 2, this one's only talking about agriculture. This one doesn't talk about genetically modified organisms outside of the agricultural industry. Okay, over here, this is talking about how it's affecting the ecosystems and some things like right here, this one, the one that's against it, this one's not including anything about the genetic engineering for the medical industry, which is really important because insulin is very, very important for those people who have diabetes. So having insulin, which is genetically engineered, is really important as well. And that one's saying it's against it, but doesn't include anything about that idea of insulin. So there's another shortcoming of this one. This one kind of has, again, it's the middle. It's the one that's not for or against. It's just saying, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's not really any better than what it has been in the past. So when you're looking at these perspectives, what you should be thinking of is, what do you feel about this concept, about this idea of genetic engineering? Okay, so step 3 is coming up with your own perspective. We just looked at the three perspectives we were provided. Now you have to come up with your own. Okay. I like you guys to use the perspective charts that we provide you because it really gives you that idea of which ones are lacking, which ones are strong, and how you can kind of build your own. But basically, if you just restate one of the ones that are given, you're not going to earn a good score. Whoopsies. Let me go back. Okay. So read this box in the yellow because, again, this is from the ACT site. So if you just give us one of the perspectives and you say, I agree with this, you're not going to get the full points. You have to have your own perspective. They really want you to have a voice in this, okay? You can pick parts of the perspectives that you like from each. Be like, oh, I really like what this one said. However, it's lacking this. And I really like what this one said. However, this one's lacking this. My idea is different because blah, 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 blah. That's how you want to include your prompt together, okay? You need to make sure you have your own ideas. All right, so when you plan for your essay, again, look at the strengths and weaknesses. Think about what they're failing to consider, what they're also really doing really well at, and then apply your own experience or knowledge or values on this topic. I'm going to give you guys this making comparisons chart. This is in the bottom of the prompt on your homepage for your assignment today. And if you scroll down, you can actually go through and do this chart just to kind of help you map out what you want to do and how you want to write your essay. Okay? And then your essay map, you can also work on. It's optional. This is really important. Last semester, we required you to have this done. However, we had a lot of students saying, I don't have to do this in my English class, yada, yada, yada. So the essay map is there for you as an option. You don't have to do it. You don't have to use it on the ACT. It's just there as a structure for you if you are not a great writer and maybe you just want that extra support to build in all that information, okay? So again, essay map is optional. Tomorrow's Class Connect, if it's working appropriately, will be open for you, and you're going to be able to work on the timed right portion during class. We're going to have 2 sessions tomorrow, so there's one at 8 a.m., and then there's a half an hour session at 3 p.m. So we want you to come to one or both if you need it to work on your perspective, okay? If you don't complete this assignment by tomorrow, you will get that 0. We don't want you guys to get the 0. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys where to find this in your content. If you're like, oh, you just went through this so fast, where do I find all this information, Mr. Forsyth? Okay, I'm on my biology homepage. So the best place to find it is, of course, on your course plan. So you can always click today's date. You're going to find your course plan. And you will also find, dun, 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 I just saw this GIF for the first time. You will also find the link for the Dropbox, okay? This is all the directions and your prompt. So this is going to give you the prompt. This is what you want to open. This is the Word doc. If you don't like using Word docs, you like the Google Doc, we also provided you with the Google Doc. And then you also have an essay map. And again, the essay map is optional for you, okay? All right, optional for you. Then if you scroll down, you'll see the final writing task. This is where you're going to actually see the Dropbox. And the Dropbox is going to open today. It already did, opened it today. So if you finish it all today and you want to just get it off your plate, you can go in and do it. But I'm going to give you the warning. You get 1 attempt in 40 minutes only. So please don't open it up unless you are ready to write your whole essay. Okay? Again, don't open it up until you're ready to write your whole essay. But again, here's the Word document. I'm going to let it open up so you guys can actually, I'm going to do the Google Doc version because it'll open up a little faster for me because I don't have to download it. But as you guys can see, there's the prompt. You got your 3 perspectives, and then you'll have your essay task, down here at the bottom, and then you have your planning for your essay, and this is the part where I wanted you guys to really fill in those perspectives. What's for, what's against, and then what's your perspective. Because making sure you have your own thesis, your own perspective, is super duper important when you're writing your essay. Okay? All right. Good luck on your essay. Come back in class tomorrow, and we will work together on your final essay. And you guys, of course, at the bottom of this is the scoring rubric. And if you click that link, that's going to take you to how you're going to be scored on this.